Hi there. How are you today? I'm just a few hours late, maybe four. um, I apologize. Long story, and that's part of what I'm going to talk about today. Um, you know, do, how do you treat yourself? Do you treat yourself as well as you treat others? I find a lot of the time that we don't. I'm going to tell you what happened last night. What caused or what happened this morning and why I'm late coming live. And I wanted to kind of I wanted to be able to minister to you and tell you what I've done or what I did. So last night, we were late getting in bed. I'm taking on a new training. I talked about it yesterday. I'm getting a certification in bank code, which is a personality code. And I had a late class. It wasn't over with until 7:30, and so I like to sit down and just sit in the living room for a little bit with Michael, maybe watch a TV show or two, and then we go to bed. Well, at 7:30, we normally go to bed around 8:30 or 9. And after I had sat in there for a little bit and finally decided it was time to go to bed, it was right at 10:30, which is late. And I can't get up at 5 if I go to bed at 10:30. It just doesn't happen. It it just doesn't. And when we went to bed, we rolled over and went to sleep. After we had prayed, and I sang to Michael. I said, my song tonight is "This Girl Is So Tired." To Alicia Keys, "This Girl's on Fire." And I was just exhausted. And when the clock went off, so I had him push the clock forward 1 hour. Instead of getting up at 5, would get up at 6. And it went off this morning. I didn't even hear it. Had no idea that the clock had gone off. Had no idea, it was time to get up. I woke up and he was in the back. He was doing something. And I said, what time is it? He said, almost 7. And that would have been normally. And in here not too long ago, I actually this had happened one time before, and we didn't set a clock, and I just didn't get up till about 7. And I berated myself all day long. I felt behind all day long. I was so upset because if I did the things I normally do in the morning, it was going to throw me an hour or two behind, a couple hours behind. And I was really upset about it. And I was upset with myself. And because of that, I had a bad day, a really, really bad day. Bad experience, bad day. It was not good at all. And this morning, when I woke up and realized I had slept in, almost 2 hours past what I normally get up, I could have so easily beat myself up over it. I could have just, been upset. But I remembered what my day was like the last time this happened. And I remembered how the whole day just didn't go well. And I did not allow myself to do that. I got to thinking about, if it was someone else and it had happened to them, I would have told them, give yourself some grace. You apparently were tired. That's why you didn't hear the clock. Give yourself grace. And so that's what I determined to do this morning, was to give myself grace. Apparently I needed that extra sleep, or my body wouldn't have allowed me to sleep through hearing the alarm, or not. I would have heard the alarm and gotten up. But, we are so hard on ourselves. And that's what I wanted to ask you today, was to not be hard on yourself. Be firm. It's okay to be firm, and it's okay to be blunt if you're polite about it, even with yourself. But don't be hard on yourself when it's not necessary. There may be times when you have to push yourself hard, but you don't need to be hard on yourself. There's a difference. Pushing yourself to get things done is one thing when it's necessary. But being hard on yourself is not loving yourself. Being hard on yourself is treating yourself unnecessarily unkind. You should never be unkind to yourself. You should never just, as I say, beat yourself up over something you did or didn't do. The thing to do is to do better. So my determination is to get out of my office sooner and to get to bed sooner, so that tomorrow I can get up at my usual time and get my day going. Am I behind today? Yeah, I'm very behind today. But you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to do what I can do and leave the rest until tomorrow. It is what it is. It is. And me jumping up and down and getting mad at myself and berating myself and treating myself poorly simply because I slept in when my body apparently needed it is the wrong thing to do. I'm going to encourage you today. Don't do that to yourself. Please don't do that to yourself. Treat yourself with kindness. Treat yourself with grace. Treat yourself like you would treat someone else. If your best friend called you and said, I've overslept and I'm so far such a horrible person and my day is going wrong, what would you say to her or him? What would you say? Think about that and treat yourself the same way that you would treat them. And I hope that you would treat them with kindness and love and respect. Give yourself the same thing. That's all I have today. After this morning, I honestly, a little bit ago, I was trying to just one more thing. I was trying to get ready for a workshop I had at noon today. And I had something I had to get out, a piece of work for a client. Sarah was messaging me. I had this going on. And I started to allow that to bubble up. All of that anxiety, all of that. You should have gotten up earlier. You should have had this done. You should have. And I realized I was allowing myself to should all over myself. And I got very calm and I took some breaths and I took my time and did everything I needed to do and got it out. And I feel so much better now. I could have allowed that to become a spiral. Don't do that to yourself. Don't allow the being behind, the getting up late, the getting behind, people demanding your time and you having appointments. Don't allow that to rattle you. Don't allow that to get you in a state of anxiety. People would say, you have anxiety? We all have anxiety at one time or other. Different things make us all anxious. We may not live in that anxiety. We may not have anxiety like we think of anxiety, but we all come across anxiety in our lives. And when it happens, we need to learn how to treat ourselves. And allowing that to spiral out is not the way to do it. Now, I'm not talking about people that have clinical anxiety. Please understand that. I'm talking about those of us in everyday life, and things start happening and we start getting anxious and we start getting upset and we start getting worried and we just allow it to spiral and then our day is just shot. Don't do that. Step back, take one thing at a time, see it for what it is, and give yourself grace. Treat yourself like you would treat your best friend that's having that problem. Because I want to tell you something. You may think your best friend is that person you can pick up the phone and call all the time, but you should be your own best friend. You should be the person that you know is going to be there for yourself no matter what. You should be that person that's going to support you. You need to be your own best friend. Treat yourself like you treat your other best friend. Okay? I love you. More importantly, God loves you. I will see y'all tomorrow, hopefully on time.